Welcome everybody to this week's episode of Strong Perspective Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Keith Armstrong, along with
Uncle Spoke.
Damon Armstrong is going to be on momentarily, so I'm gonna do my best impression of him. Floop dog. But welcome to this week's episode, ladies and gentlemen. What I'm going to do, because I've been watching the more popular podcasts and more a little bit more professional than us, because I believe we are professionals, Corey. I really do believe this.
I do my best.
I'm going to go back and count our episodes. And what I'm going to start doing is making sure people know which episode this is. You feel what I'm saying? And make sure the three of us know. With that being said, this is Strong Perspective Podcast. Do us a favor, go to our YouTube channel, like, share, and subscribe. It's Strong Perspective Podcast channel. Just check us out. We here every Friday at 7:30, 7:35. You know what I mean? You know, our motto is welcome to Strong Perspectives, where convictions meets conversation. I'm gonna come up with a new one every week, Jaqua, but
where conviction meets conversation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know, I like that. I've been thinking about that all week, and I think that was a good one. I'm gonna try to come up with catchy slogans, everyone, and which one that you like the most. Which one you like the most? We're gonna hop in, and three of us we're gonna vote on it. You know what I mean? With that being said, my guy, how was your day?
It's cool, man. It's cool. It was cool, man. I didn't get into a whole bunch, man. I was just doing what I can to teeter on the edge of relevance, because I don't like that much attention.
No doubt. Damn. Teetering on the edge. You know what I'm saying?
You know, funnily enough, man, I've never used that word before. Teetering.
For the first time, you did pretty well there, sir. All right. Well, introduce yourself there, Damon Armstrong.
Damon Armstrong, aka Floop Dog, aka Heater, aka Daddy. Just trying to be who I am, man. Had a great, wonderful day today, man. My grandbaby was fussing at me, and I enjoyed that immensely, man. I mean, she was pointing fingers and I want ice cream with the sprinkles on it. Do not give me any ice cream without the sprinkles. Are you listening, Granddad?
Look at you.
And I ain't had no sprinkles, so I had to compromise, man. Just go through the whole motion of convincing her. We don't have any sprinkles, but we have the rainbow sherbet. I think you might enjoy that. I mean, this is how I'm talking to her. And she was like, no.
Gotcha.
And I loved every minute of it, bro.
Yes, sir.
Every minute of it.
You know, I told you, Corey, what I'm going to be doing on a weekly basis is coming up with a nice little opening tagline. And the tagline, I don't know if you heard, I said, welcome to Strong Perspective Podcast, where conviction meets conversation. So eventually, I'm going to, and you guys are invited to do the same, and then we'll vote to see what's what and when's when. You feel what I'm saying? Let me tell you, man, and let me ask you this, Jaqua. Is it me? Am I getting too old or old fogey when I see foolishness in the news, when people doing dumb stuff, man? You know.
Give me a for instance.
Let me give you a for instance. Let's see. even though I went to the University of Pittsburgh, you went to North Carolina North Carolina Simple. Oh, I was getting ready to insult you.
Yeah, what are you talking
I'm
about?
sorry.
Oh, man,
I'm sorry.
what are you doing?
North Carolina Central,
The North Carolina Central University. Thank you very
no
much.
doubt.
Eagles,
Eagles.
Eagles, Eagles fly high.
Yeah. I went to Pitt, and Damon went to Siena Heights University, right? We grew up Michigan fans, Michigan football fans. This is what it is. This is in our blood. Even though I'm a Pitt do or die, I bleed Pitt blue, right? But am I an old fogey when I am thoroughly pissed off about Michigan's coach being fired and why he was fired?
Why was he fired?
Oh, you hadn't heard this?
I don't watch news. I don't watch sports, man. I don't do any of that,
All right, he was
bro.
fired because
Uninformed.
of inappropriate relationship with a staff member at the University of Michigan,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you know, I received phone calls from folks throughout the week because I didn't know until about 2 days ago. Throughout the week, talking about him being fired. So us being the community we are, oh man, that was a pristine job. You know, they had it out for him. You know what I'm saying? He's the second one. The first one was Shannon. You know what I'm saying? Then you remember a couple years ago the Michigan State head coach just signed that big contract, right? Because of an inappropriate texting relationship, right? So this before all the news came out. So we're sitting here speculating, and guess who we demonized? The University of Michigan. They didn't want no black man in that job and all of this shit, right? They didn't want no black man, running that. Me and your brother Damon was talking about, speculating on it. They didn't want him there and all this stuff, right? Then late last night and today, finding out the details of him being fired. Now he had this relationship with this young lady, right? And I believe it's in his contract not to fraternize, basically, right? So I could deal with that, but you left $12 million on the table because of this relationship, which is foolishness, right? Then come to find out that he forced this woman to have, when she became impregnated, forced her to terminate the pregnancy, right? Forced her to do it. But what he did was doubled her salary, right? Then, when it all came out, he goes in. Then I found out he got arrested. I said, "What would he get arrested for?" Nobody knows. Come to find out, his wife called the police saying that he's suicidal after he got fired. He's suicidal, right? And he walked out the house with knives, right? And guess where he went? To the young lady's house with the knives.
Bro, he got the knives out of her kitchen. He didn't come with them.
He also took knives out. His wife said he took knives out of the house.
He had butter knives.
From his house? Okay.
No, I watched his arrangement today. He went to her kitchen, got the knives, the butter knives, and said he was going to kill himself.
So what did they arrest him
So
for?
what did they arrest him for then?
Because she was intimidated and she felt scared, and it was a scary situation for her.
So basically what it was is the fact it was home invasion. And
he didn't kick the door in, he forced himself in.
Well, it's the same thing. It's the same thing.
And he did that after she had contacted the administration at the university. So apparently he
Okay.
felt betrayed because she basically spilled the beans on him. She basically, gave up the goats or whatever, and his response was to go to her joint and
Why?
say, "You ruined my life, and I'm going to kill myself." That is, that is basically what happened
Is that
from
is
watching
that
the
is,
arrangement.
is that what he was saying?
That's from watching the arrangement. This is what they charged him with.
Okay, they charged him with what, man? Because you cannot be arrested for threatening to kill yourself.
You can be
Because he,
you can be taken into custody and TOD.
Yes, but he wasn't. He was actually arrested.
he was arrested, man, because he forced himself into her house. He didn't kick
Okay.
the door in or whatever. When he knocked on the door, she answered. He forced him. He barged in. He forced himself in, and then he threatened to kill himself. And in the process of doing that, she was afraid. She was intimidated, and all that stuff. And everything led to what it led to.
Okay, so let me ask you guys this.
Now you can go. You guys can go on and watch
No,
it,
no,
man, because watch the
no,
arrangement.
no, no. Hold on,
Sitting
hold on,
there.
hold on. So this is my version of being unfiltered today. This is not in standing in judgment of this man, right? But let me ask you a question. You hold the position in which they are trying to get you out of it, right? Now, I'm assuming if it's all true that he had her because he's married, he's a married man, had her terminate the pregnancy so it wouldn't get out, and he got her paid whatever she was getting paid, so she would keep silent, right? Could he have avoided all this, in your opinion? Because, like I said, I'm not trying to stand in judgment of this because people make mistakes. People are foolish
If he
sometimes.
had, if he had to pull to get that woman's salary though, yeah, he could have avoided it.
He
Okay.
basically doubled her salary. She's making 90,000 a year.
Yeah, I mean that. I mean he could have done something if he couldn't have outright avoided it. He could have found a way to prolong it. I mean, because now he ain't got nothing. Now he ain't got the job. He ain't got the woman. He more than likely don't have his wife.
Yeah.
So I mean,
What he could have done, excuse
decision
my,
making, man. If he hadn't walked through that door in the first place, he'd been all right.
And and Jaquan, that's the obvious thing. But then you said what he could have done. What?
but here's the thing, man. If you're thinking about things in retrospect, what he could have done to avoid the whole situation, don't shit where you eat at. First of all,
but that's the obvious joint right there.
I
I
know
get
I, I know that's obvious, but that factors in. That's the case. Don't shit where you eat at. Number one. Number two, you know what I'm saying, for me, that's what it is. You know what I'm saying, now, if he didn't have the self awareness to say, you know what, I'm the first black coach in the history of this institution, which is a blue blood institution. I need to be on top of of my game, and I need to present myself a certain way. You know what I'm saying? He got caught up in the bullshit.
so. But to your point, Damon, when we're in those positions, do we ever think about being the first at anything, or do you want the job? And some of us, no, the majority of us, I can fairly say, do get drunk off power.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I think his main fault lies in the fact that he didn't have anybody around him to tell him that he was fucking up.
No, but I think he did. No,
He
he was
cut.
fucking.
He very well could have had those people there, man, saying it. Case in point, his wife.
His wife
Case
ain't
in
know
point,
he
his
was
wife.
fucking up. She
But but
ain't she ain't know he was fucking up.
but Jacquard, he knew he was fucking up because what did he do? He pretty much bribed her.
Right. Not only that, y'all do know that the university did their own investigation. and didn't fire him at that point when when they did
They
their own
sure didn't.
investigation.
They made the business decision, which I mean that's another whole new thing because what they did not announce it until it was the end of the signing period.
Right. Exactly. So they were covering all the bases and stuff.
And
No,
I think yeah, go ahead, Dan. What'd you say?
my point is this, man. If and this is me just speculating on how I believe how people do shit. If this man would have had a winning record the last 2 years, 10-1, and made the playoffs, right? Would we even be talking about this shit right now?
Bro, first of all, he was 9-3.
I
And he
said
was
if
he was two. Listen to what I'm saying to you now. Now you, out of the three of us, you are a straight up Michigan man, and he was 2-1 against Ohio State. You understand what I'm saying?
this would have
I
been
think,
that.
I think he gave them. I think he gave because it was rumbling. It was rumblings that alumni was pulling their support because I guess whatever reason because the NIL is giving alumni money total power when it comes to these programs nowadays. But that's another point. But my point is, you know, 9-3. Had he not got arrested, would he have been fired? What do you
No,
think?
he got arrested after he got fired.
Okay.
He got arrested after he got fired because he did
So
home
so so
invasion and all that
so
shit.
basically so basically then
Allegedly.
so basically then the whole point of it was he gave them an excuse to fire him. Right?
Absolutely, yeah. He definitely gave him an excuse. No, no,
Yeah.
no, no. They fired him first, but he made sure, based on his actions after he got fired, that they made the right choice
No,
to fire him.
and I believe that.
To make
But
it to make his contract null and void and all that bullshit. All that stuff factors in.
look, Malika on the screen, I put it on the screen. She said raising her salary was a fireball offense, fireball, but you changed it, Malika. And it's conflict of interest. All employees are required to follow that policy. That's true.
I imagine you'd be pretty hard pressed to find not to to find a policy that's not a part of in this whole
Yeah.
country.
I'm gonna tell you the funny thing. She said he messed up by not paying enough money to shut up and falling in love. He should have read up on that side chick arrangement. And I'm not
Hey,
laughing at his expense, but I think now this is my and I want you guys to tell me what you think. My opinion of this is you said it, he's at a blue blood institution, Damon, right? It's where you know what I mean. He's at a blue bloods institution, and he's on top of the world. And he got drunk off of it because for them to investigate, it had to be rumors of this. You feel what I'm saying? It wasn't like she decided to go to them and look, this was going on. No, there had to be speculating again because I don't know. There had to be some rumblings, and he got to the point where it got too expensive for the university.
first of
And
all, first of all, well,
now I'm just saying. I mean, now I think I'm probably concerned about if there's anybody else who might come forward.
We'll know soon. You know what I mean? Because that's a setup for a lot of civil suits. if he was on a roll like that. Let me put it like that. You know what I'm saying? You know, but if this is one of them things where they got on them what do you call it, workplace romances, and then they was in the middle of a Harlequin thing until she became pregnant.
But
So
see, that shit happens, and I'm just speaking from my understanding of how I see shit and how things are did, right? That shit happens all the time with a whole lot of people, man. There are a lot of coaches, allegedly. There are a lot of coaches, man, who have similar type of situations or whatever, or different situations or whatever, and it doesn't take away their livelihood, their job, or affect their family because they have winning programs. Now, the part where I'm struggling with it, in my own personal opinion, if this man was 10-1 these last 2 years, will we even be having this discussion, man? I don't think so. I really don't.
So
Because the only thing that he did wrong was go against company policy. You know what I'm saying?
that's not the only thing he did wrong.
I'm talking
you
about
mean pride,
initially. I'm talking about initially. Now,
bribery. That's not
okay,
company
so
policy. That's
he was backing in the
And
corner, but
I mean, moral turpitude is a fireable offense in some places.
okay. But it's all contingent to what? Whether or not you're a winner or a loser. And we know that for a fact. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we could go off morality and say, you know what, he went against company policy and had a relationship with a woman that was on his staff, and he doubled her salary and all that stuff. You mean to tell me, in all honesty, asking both of y'all this question, you mean to tell me that if you go through the whole NCAA college football establishment, you can't find similar shit where people are still in place, man, because they have winning records?
yeah, man. But
I'm sure he
bro,
could. I'm sure he could. I mean,
but are you? Here's the thing.
but are you saying that this man shouldn't have lost his job because he's a black man? Is that
What
what you're
I'm
saying?
saying is that even
Or
though it
was
was
he
against
9-3?
public,
His wife shouldn't have lost his job. But go ahead.
what I'm saying is that even though it was against company policy, let's not act like it doesn't happen. Because if you think about, and this is what I had to think about, going through the whole situation, not to belabor the stuff, but this is what I had to think about. Dude, you are in, because she was second in line with him. She was his assistant. They spent a lot of time together. You know what I'm saying? Not justifying the, the situation, but they spend a lot of time. Shit happens.
Bro.
Situations come about. Shit happens. And that's not like, and like you said, Keith, you're a Michigan man. So of course I'm gonna stand on this shit. Let's not act like this stuff don't happen anywhere else, because it does.
Okay.
It happens. You
But
spend time. If you are a coach of a major institution like Michigan, most of your time is going over X and O's, making sure everybody's paid, making sure everything is happening. You spend a lot of time with your staff members, right? Shit happens. That's just like two people who on patrol together. Y'all spend a lot of time, and things get convoluted, mixed up, and people make mistakes.
Okay,
It just
now,
happened. That's just
all
human
right,
nature.
oh, hey,
all right. The affair. I mean, if you could take the affair out of the equation, I mean, he paid the woman off. He forced the woman to have a medical procedure that nobody knows whether or not she wanted to have it or not. He went to the woman's house brandishing weapons and forced his way in. Now you could say that
Is that possible?
all those things happen as a result of that, you know, that one situation. So you know, it was a snowball effect. But you know, if it was a burning building, he had the matches.
That's where I am. Like, Damon, you make a point. So I'm not disagreeing with you in the sense that it's happening everywhere else, right?
Yeah.
But logically, I'm not beating the man down like, man, oh shit, he fucked up. He should have been, you know what I mean? No, to your
I
guys'
am.
point. No, listen what I'm saying
I
to you.
am, but I can play devil's advocate. You know
Listen,
what I'm
to
saying?
you guys, to your guys' point, I get that, right? But when you, like Malika says, if you have a relationship, you have to disclose it, and that person you have to not be their immediate supervisor anymore. Okay. Now, my thing is this: how much should we ride with him? Because you understand, before all the details came out, right? I had people call me, and we had a debate about it. Like, oh man, they trying to get another brother and this and this, that, and the other, and do, right? But in my mind, like, okay, I understand what you guys are saying, but bro, what if he did this? Right? So should we still ride with him?
Well, if in my case, man, if riding with him is me not, you know, calling him a dumb son of a bitch, then that's what it is, man. Because he fucked up, and now he got to pay that ticket. If I fuck up, I got to pay that ticket too. Now the fact that he was, you know, he's a black man and everything, you know, I mean that's disappointing. It's disappointing, but
Absolutely.
it's no more disappointing than, you know, if somebody else you know, of another culture that held a prestigious position or whatever fucked it up. You know, he had an opportunity to, you know, create multiple legacies.
Yeah. You see,
And that's very telling right there, Joy. I mean, I'm glad you made that point, man, because that's really how I feel, to be honest with you. You know what
Can't
I'm
hear
saying?
you, Keith.
you say you can't hear me.
I can hear you now. Yeah.
When you're in real time, the majority of us, we don't think about legacy. We think about present, what we're doing, right? So if it'll be easy for me to say, and this is to your point, Damon, he was in position to do great things for and college sports is entertainment. I don't give a fuck what. In professional college sports is entertainment. Is what it is. That's how I see it. And I'm an ex college athlete, so I've always seen it that way. Because there's more important things in his life than that, right? But to look at him and say, well, you got a responsibility. You have a responsibility to the legacy of black coaches, right? I kind of see that he was not up to the task because he did not see it.
And that's the main reason why I didn't go, why, you know, how I just said, because I mean it's you know, it's, we have no idea what the fuck that man is going through.
Yeah.
This is not a decision that, you know, those weren't decisions that he made at any point that he probably felt that he was going to further himself self positively in any way. You know, he got in the car and started riding, and he took the ride,
Yeah.
And the motherfucker just didn't go in the direction that he wanted it to go.
Yeah.
You know, that's reckless. That's I mean, it's no telling what's in that man. What was in that man's head? You
After,
know
after
what?
the firing, I think it was some mental health issues after
I'm,
that.
I'm I mean, they were, but they didn't just develop after he got fired. They were always there.
No, I,
They
I, I
they were
agree.
yeah
I agree.
they were contributing factors as to why he ended up in this situation in the first place.
Yeah,
That's why I'm not overly critical, because I mean we we can't throw this man away.
no, and that's my thing, Jaquari, is like I don't want to be I don't want to be like judgmental. Like, man, you fucked it up. But he did. He left 12 million on the table, I believe.
I mean,
Woo, it's a lot of money.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Just for a little affection.
yeah.
Because that's what it was. It was, and well, I was getting ready to say that's what it was. I don't know what it was. He might have been in love with this young lady. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But
He should
just
have
on
did
a personal basis,
did it the right way.
he left a lot of money on the table
Mm.
just for and he tried to cover it up because he tried to, low key, like, hey, you still here? And he probably said, look, I'm gonna double your salary if you do this thing, right?
Mm.
And a promise for more if you just ride with me. But see, I think those officials who have been investigating, because the rumor mill, all these different things, right? Been investigated, approaching like, look, it's either us or it's him. What's your choice? You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean, but I see. I mean, I just and I don't. I'm not trying. I don't. I'm in no way trying to demonize her. But she can't stay there.
She ain't gonna look. She's not gonna leave until she get that payday, though.
She can get the payday, but I mean,
But I don't think she has any intention on staying there, though. See, and here's the thing, and I asked this question before. What could he have done? I'll be honest with you. What I think he could have done after being fired, not say nothing more. Because Michigan did not say any more than other than inappropriate. So he could have, by being silent, he could have shaped it a little bit. Hey, we had an affair. We thought we was in love. You know what I mean? Now he would be able to get a job somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? He would have been able, but now his just by, and we talked about mental health, just by being arrested, and Malika said it was a stalking charge, breaking in and stalking. Just by that happening, no shit, a high school program ain't gonna be able to mess with him. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, after this storm blows over, he's got to have some kind of opportunity for livelihood, man. That's just what
I
it
mean,
is.
and maybe everybody
It
has a chance,
it
will
won't
get a
be
chance.
it won't be in football, but I mean, it. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's
Like I said, it's hard for me to. I don't want to stand in judgment because I don't know this man, and of course, depending on my mood, I would be like, man, this is a stupid man. This is a freaking fool. You feel what I'm saying? But I don't know him and he don't know me. You know what I mean? Uh, Ann Arbor is the city of uh, interracial couples. You know what I'm saying? So if he wanted a little dalliance on the side, he could have found somebody. You understand what I'm saying, T? Damon had a point though, saying that they work closely together.
I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
but but yo, you get fired, and he had to know because of what he had her do. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. I think, to wrap this up, let me ask you this, Jaquari. If we were going to think about it as far as um, if it affects this community, and I'm talking about entertainment wise, I'm not talking about life wise. Do you think this happening to him affects this community, entertainment wise? Now,
Well, I mean, no, I don't. I
okay,
don't. I mean, it's. I mean, the American population have always been fickle in that regard, man. I mean, it's here today, gone tomorrow.
yeah,
He definitely could have done without the scandal, but I mean, shit, if somebody else, with some good ideas is gonna get picked up and put in
yeah.
that position, and the program's gonna move forward.
Okay, so let me ask the obvious question: had this young lady not been a white woman, do you think he would have been fired? Now, this is all speculation, but
I don't
does
see,
it make a difference?
yeah, I don't see the
You
scenario playing out any different.
don't think it played out?
I don't.
Okay,
I mean, because the machine is always going to protect itself, even though they didn't say anything when they did what they did. Somebody would have figured out, you know, what happened. It's a major program, man. It's a
I
major
get it.
program, and you just gonna kill the head of the monster with no explanation. No, it never happened. So black, white, red, or green. Somebody would have re- researched the reason why he was let go.
Okay, so Damon, let me ask you the same question I asked Jaquar. Does it make a difference that this woman was a white woman as opposed to a black woman? And
Hold on. You're gonna have to excuse me, brothers.
You all right?
Ask the question again.
yeah, can you hear us?
I can hear you now.
Okay, we're gonna close this up. Do you think that okay? Does it make a difference that this young lady was a white woman instead as opposed to a black woman? In your opinion, will you think Jaquari says he thinks it'd be the same outcome? What do you think?
Brother, I heard, what do you think, man? That was it. I'm just being honest with you.
I mean, is it something that you
Y'all go ahead and move forward, man. Man, best I can. Go ahead and do your thing.
okay? We're gonna move on. And how you gonna do the best you can, Damon? If you only hear every other word, no. But okay, let's move. I just think I was just curious about this. Why I wanted to ask you guys what was what today. What's your opinion about this today? You know what I mean? Um, this is another sports related thing, but really and truly, it's more humanistic too. Um, in your opinion, Jaquari, when we talk about, no, you know what? Because you're not a sports guy, let's just talk about some other things, right? Were you able to catch the documentary on Netflix about Sean Combs?
I seen it, man. I told myself I was nah, I didn't bother with it.
Okay.
We can talk.
Now, huh?
We can talk about it though.
Okay. Well, okay. So I think it was a funny thing, man. I watched the first couple episodes, right? And yes, a lot of stuff you heard before, right? But it was put in a chronological order, and then it was some new stuff that you brought in. You know what I mean? My opinion about it is, it confirmed to me that the man was and that's my own personal opinion, evil man. He's an evil man. And I'm not talking about because he was doing the male prostitutes and violating themselves with the male prostitutes, none of that. I'm talking about how he went about what he did to the people in his personal life. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't like the simple fact that in our community, especially this day and time, we are is a big emphasis on our entertainers. You know what I'm saying?
I know that, man. I
Our
mean,
our,
no, it's not
our,
the time.
our entertainers. You understand what I'm saying to you? In the simple fact that it seems like
I got it.
our let me make sure I say this right. How we see ourselves always seems to be through the eyes of our entertainers, sports, singers, actors, as a community. It seems like there's a bigger emphasis on us in our community with the entertainers.
It's ironic to me, man, that all entertainment related scandal, man, is nothing but like reinforces for every stereotype that the world has about us already. How black men are you know sexually driven brutes, and black women are aggressive and verbally assaultive, and those are the things that kind of I don't want to say attracts us to our entertainers, but they those traits are popular in our community.
Mm.
I mean, we praise we've always praised the ladies' man. You some people, they value a sharp tongue in their women. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to explain, man. I mean,
Okay, so I kind of gathered my train of thought with this. I asked you if you saw the documentary, not because I wanted you to give me your opinion of the man, but there's a gigantic example of what power does to people. Right now, assuming that maybe the information that we received is 50-50 in the documentary, right? I think it's a little more, a bigger percentage toward this is being all fairness, not knowing. I'm just saying 50-50. But
you have
I think it's more truthful that
you have any idea who produced it?
uh 50 Cent produced it along with some other people. Like it's a group of them, but his name, he's the face of it. But it was a couple executive producers, right? And the thing about it is, do you think in this instance that the black man is being torn down by people's opinion about Sean Combs and bringing out this information? Does the black men, us as a community, do we take a hit for this?
I don't think so. I don't think so because the situations were so extreme, man. To regular thinking. I mean, no, I don't think it affects us at all.
Okay. Because some places, the people who ride for him will say, "Hey, man, this is another instance that you want to tear the black man down because he was successful in the music business. You know what I mean, making the money that he's making and all this, right? Does that apply to you, Damon? Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Okay. So
I think that's all contingent.
You can chime in on it.
I think it's all contingent on individual, man. You know what I'm saying? We all, as individuals, go through aspects of our life that has nothing to do with the world, man. With everybody, our own personal shit, and we have to, as individuals, come up with solutions, man, based on our experience. You know what I'm saying? How does that coincide with hustling? He's a world. This dude is a multi-millionaire. How do our lives coincide with each other? I don't throw parties, man, where everybody shows up and shit. Whatever happens, happens. You know what I'm saying? I never had that experience. But I had the experience where, you know what, I had to go at the school, deal with my child, dealing with another kid who bullying her. You know? I had to deal with that. How do it match up? It doesn't. Because my situation is real. And I had to come up with a solution, especially dealing with the young folk in terms of them living their lives and having lives where they can deal with things, be their better selves. But because they got nothing to do with that, you know what I'm saying? We're not even on the same. We're not even in the same stratosphere. You know what I'm saying? I haven't even watched the documentary. When they popped up on the joint, I moved past it because it don't affect my life. My life is different because my life is my life, my experience. It has nothing to do with them.
Yeah, I didn't really like when he got arrested and was going through trial. No, I didn't pay attention to it, man.
I
Yeah.
didn't either, really, to be honest with you.
And me, I didn't. But the thing about it is, it's curiosity. Like what, you know, just from being an ex law enforcement and what they were treating them with RICO and all of that stuff right there. And then you start to hear the charges, and then you see the recaps at each court. I said to myself, well, no, that what you're charging him with is and what the evidence you have. I don't know why he even brought this in. You understand what I'm saying to you? Like,
What, what my man Chappelle said, this dude is fighting Rico charge by himself. Think about the honor in that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And that's the thing about it is like, um, you know, like me. Okay, if I want to talk the truth, say the truth, of what I believe is believable, right? I believe this man victimized a lot of people. That's it. That's what I believe. I believe this motherfucker victimized a lot of people for that power.
And you know what, Keith? I believe just to you know piggyback off of what you said. I believe that a lot of people who witnessed it were complicit.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt about that.
A lot of people on these podcasts talking about, I seen Puffy do this and I seen Puffy do that, and you didn't say anything, you didn't report it. You're fucking complicit.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
My
You know,
man asked me one day. I ain't gonna mention his name. He said, he asked me if Donald Trump was a regular person, with and you saw him coming up to where y'all at, would you deal with him? And why? And I thought about that for a minute. And I said, in a regular situation, no, I wouldn't deal with it because I can't trust him to tell the truth. You know what I'm saying? Soon as he started talking, my first inclination would be, here this motherfucker over this bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But because he's in the position that he's in and he has the money he has, if you're that type of person who thinks that way, you're forced to pay him any damn attention. But in real life, real situations, in a normal situation, would you? Would you answer your door if he knocked on the joint? In a normal situation, regular situation.
I mean, that kind of personality, man, that kind of potential evil, you have to face that head on, man. You got to address it. You
I
got
wouldn't answer the door, man, because I don't have
you
the
got to
time or
talk to him.
patience.
You got to talk to them, and hopefully they'll divulge some plans or whatever. So I mean, I don't, and truthfully, man, if him being who he is or who he was or whatever, man, if I was to meet him today, I don't believe Donald Trump would treat me bad. I don't believe it. I don't believe it for the simple fact that he's a businessman.
I don't know the motherfucker. You know what I mean? So
I'm not answering the door.
I'm not even gonna
If
speculate.
I'm in a personal situation and we kicking about some random shit and he come with all this cornball shit, when I'm like, damn,
Okay.
dude, where's you choosing to be on that?
Okay, so before
I'm
we
making a decision right then and there. I'm not gonna deal with this. I'm not gonna deal with this dude because his shit is corny.
before we
That's
go
not me.
down,
That's not me saying that I'm better. It's just that in real life situations, I can't deal with it because I got other shit to be doing.
okay, so let me just tie the other thing we are talking about before we walk down that Trump pathway again, because you know he's low hanging fruit. So my question about Sean Combs, because I'm going to call this motherfucker Diddy or Puffy. You know what I mean? What fucking shit is that? But Sean Combs, right? Would he have gotten away with all the stuff had he not been a multimillionaire? And along the same lines with what you were saying, Jaquari, where the other people was complicit to his actions, right? His bodyguards, people who work for him, the whole night. Do you think he would have got away with the things that he got away with? And it's all speculation because we don't know what the fuck he's done, but we can assume, like people pointing fingers. Do you think he would have got away with it had he not been a multimillionaire?
It depends on whether or not he was still paying them people like he was, because that's the only reason he got caught up is because he stopped paying somebody more. I believe. So yeah, as long as he kept the payroll going, he would have been okay. If he hadn't fucked nobody up on a business, fucked nobody over on a business aspect, he'd probably still be rolling strong.
What about you, Glenn?
I'm simply saying, just in a normal situation,
cats be on some wild shit, and you be like, man, I'm not finna be getting involved with that shit, man. That ain't me. It in a normal situation, it would be easier to come to that conclusion, man. You know what I'm saying? It would be easy to come to that conclusion because you'd be like, man, from what I heard, I ain't dealing with that.
Yeah.
Just for the simple fact, man, that shit, he looking for victims, man. So what's to keep him from trying to victimize me? So I can't be around that kind of shit.
Yeah. You know, a lot of the footage that people was talking about, he was real candid. I'm the only one of the three of us who watched it. He was really candid in the first episode about talking to his lawyers about the strategic shit that they need to be doing and all this. That's that and other. I'm looking at him like, well, damn, this motherfucker is actually recording himself saying this stuff, right? And it wasn't incriminating, but what it was fully disclosing, like, yo, this man got something to hide, right? Then come to find out that the person they had recording, first thing that came out was he didn't pay. He didn't pay the video kid, right? He didn't pay him, right? But then they're saying that the guy who was doing the video of him and recording all of that, because Puff was gonna do his own documentary. But I'm like, well, fuck, if you doing your own documentary, why you? This is some stuff I don't think you want in this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because he looked bad, like character-wise, he looked bad. You know what I'm saying? He looked like an elite.
Well,
He looked like an
here's the
elite.
situation.
No. Let me finish. Let me finish. So the person who was actually doing it, the main person, said that he had another engagement and he used a third party person to do the filming, right? That third party person took the recording and sold it to the highest bidder, which was Curtis Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Because I think he was part of the money people too. You know what I'm saying? Being the executive producer. But go ahead and say what you're going to say, Dana.
All I'm saying is this, man, and this has nothing to do with him or his situation. I'm just saying, in general, in just on a speculative point. If you talk to a guy, he say, "Hey man, I got these females over here, man, that's willing to do everything," and they borderline young females in a regular situation. What are you gonna say? Hey man, don't bring that shit to me. I ain't got nothing to do with it. I ain't got nothing. I don't want to be involved, and you're gonna step the hell away in a normal situation. And that's simply what it is. I'm not saying allegedly that's what he did. I'm just saying if there is a situation like that, you being the person that you are in your right mind, no matter how live or how late the situation is or whatever, or what you speculate your experience might be, you looking at it in its totality and you saying, no, I'm not comfortable with that in a normal situation. And you step the hell away from it and you don't even want to even be associated with the situation, right? You don't even want to be associated with it. In a normal situation, that's what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you sit back talking about, damn, I'm glad I wasn't a part of that bullshit.
But then you think about the people, man, who you've seen in interviews talking about, yeah, man. What did Nick Cannon? Did Nick Cannon say he missed the Diddy parties?
I'm not sure.
Somebody said that they missed that they missed it or whatever, and was nostalgic about it. I'm like, wow, man, you just
I mean, because
I don't know.
it was two halves of it. Like during the day, there was day party, basically, right? And then at a certain night, a time of the night, the children had to go home or went to bed, and then he brought out the baby, oh, and and all of that shit. Supposedly, that was the whole scenario.
Let's look at it in this situation, man. You hanging out with your boys, you with the college where you ain't sitting in the wild. They say, "Hey man, I heard this party going on, and this was, hey man, we need to be a part of this shit." And then one of your main boys come to you and say, "Hey man, take your ass home. Don't even deal with that shit, man. Don't even deal with that, bro. I'm telling you, you don't want to be a part of it, and just leave it like that." That's not putting speculation on anybody or calling anybody out. That's a friend saying, "Hey man, it hit me wrong, and I'm not comfortable with it." And I'm telling you, hey man, nigga, take me home. Give me a ride home right now, man, and get away from this shit. And then the next day, some shit jump off, and you reading the shit, and he was like, "Damn, I'm glad I missed that." Isn't it really that simple?
It
In a
is.
normal sense.
It is, man. But in situations like that, man, a lot of people use that dope fiend brain or whatever, man. Yeah, this dude done told me that it's a bad situation, so I kind of want to see what's going on. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah. And there's some people who would do that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And just want to be a part of it, especially if they're celebrities. You know what I'm saying? And look, imagine, like think about every celebrity that you said they was before he got charged, right? They said was at the party. Jay-Z was a regular. Beyonce was a regular. You know what I mean? They all in a big gigantic bed, and you invited to that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And if it's new and you see all these A-list celebrities and you was lucky enough to be up in that piece, right? Wouldn't you want to stay?
Okay, let me challenge you. How many times me and you been in a position where we dealt with so-called celebrities and shit? You was like, man, this nigga corny as a motherfucker, man.
But you understand what I'm saying to you.
And me and you just laughed at the motherfucker while he was manipulating other motherfuckers. How many times did that shit happen,
I
bro?
mean, but see, that's the thing is the way I see things and the way you see things are different. I'm saying to you, if you had a party in Hollywood or wherever, right, and especially when you got Holly Berry up in there. You look, you fantasize about Kim Kardashian because of her freak tape. You know what I'm saying? And they got you up in that piece. Like you getting to walk around, you getting to see, say, speculating the freaky rooms. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Would you want to stay if you're a young man? I'm not talking about you as individuals. I'm saying, wouldn't a young man and a woman want to be in the mix so they have something to talk about?
more than likely. More than likely. I mean, you think about all the people, man, who had enough information to talk about what was going on and went back.
Yeah.
All the people who questioned what the fuck was going on and went back.
Look, and brought their own drink.
Bro, Keith, how many times you been in a situation where you was dealing with celebrities and you said, man, look at this clown ass nigga?
This is what I'm talking about. Luke, you keep asking me how many times you've been. I'm saying I'm just speculating about this.
All right, but that's a whole nother level. That's a whole
Somebody
nother level.
no, I'm saying somebody who wants to be in the mix.
Okay, somebody want to be in the mix. Somebody that want to be in the mix and willing to do whatever it takes. There's a whole different story. But just
That's a,
not act like you situation. You was like this clown ass motherfucker. Hey man, ignore that brother, man. He tripping.
no,
That
no,
ain't happen.
I get it. You get it. I mean, when it comes to Puffy, you know, or anybody, what's the Weinstein motherfucker? You know what I'm saying? Using he built like a damn sack of potatoes. You know what I'm saying? His head is that big too. But yo, he's one of them elite producers, right? And had that power. And the thing about it is, most people just ignore the fact that there's a lot of responsibility. Like having power doesn't erase the responsibility you should have. And you
Right.
understand I put the word should.
Exactly.
You should have, but most people get drunk off power, man. You don't think?
I mean,
In one capacity or another, most people get drunk off power.
yeah, access corrupts, man. And it doesn't matter, where you stood moralistically at the beginning of this venture. Now that you have the opportunity and the ability to get your hands on anything you want, I know very few people who wouldn't do that shit at least once.
I'm just simply saying, man. I'm just simply saying that that one thing that pops in your head. You know what I'm saying, hey man, you need to think about this situation before you delve into it. You mean to tell me everybody don't have that first thought, man? But they concede to, you know what? I'm gonna have the experience, so I'm gonna go through it, and whatever happens, happens. And then they caught up in some bullshit.
But yeah, I mean, but
I'm just simply saying. I'm just simply saying that on a certain level, I think that we all three of us have been through that, and we decided, man, I'm not gonna deal with that corny shit. I'm going over here, and then the next day, find out somebody got caught up in some bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not denying that, but like I said, what I'm actually exploring is someone that's not in the same frame of mind that you're in, Damon, and see the world the way you see it. You know what I'm saying? Who became victims because they thought they could surf the bullshit, right? Or they were so naive that they made themselves believe that they weren't in any kind of physical danger. For
But
the
it
what?
is what it is.
For the sake of fame. Because that's what it is, it's fame. You know what I'm saying? I don't, look, me personally, I get caught. I I'm a human being when it comes to understanding. When I understood early by playing college basketball, you got to be careful when you meet your heroes because what you end up doing is you give your heroes too much too much credit for being cool. You understand what I'm saying to you? We can't help it. That's how we are. You know, uh, basketball, meeting professional basketball players early in my life, meeting them and seeing them actually being clumsy human beings, right? And y'all understand what I mean by clumsy human beings. It's clumsy. You don't know how to interact with anybody. You don't know. You expect
awkward. And,
you expect me to exalt you because of who you are. You understand what I'm saying? So I learned early, like, wait a minute, man. I just can't give you your props. You feel what I'm saying? I just can't give them to you. But see, that was my own personal belief. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get. I look like when we first meet, I give you your props, but I'm not gonna keep giving you your goddamn props. I mean, like what the like? No, man. Like you're great at that thing. You are great at that thing. But in the time span that we sat down and rapped for a minute, I just see a lot of shit that you can't match me on, man. So the money. It's I always chase the money, or be appreciative of the money, but it can't buy character. It can't buy a sense of humor. It can't buy. It definitely can't buy charisma.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, and the only reason why we may have these opinions. Well, I may have this opinion is because I think about all the shit I got to lose, and how hard I work to get it. And once you get into a position of where everything is replaceable at your whim, you can become reckless. You can become very reckless. Then it becomes your circle's job to fucking corral and wrangle you.
yeah.
That's why I got a lot of respect and I'm not trying to go down a rabbit hole here. I got a lot of respect for LeBron James's team, man. Because I mean, LeBron James is, I mean, image is everything, man, and I have no doubt that he is, a decent dude or whatever, man. But he got into the league young,
Yeah.
so I the stories, that could probably be told about his fuck ups, man, are probably epic. Think about Shaq. Shaq's a wild dude.
Yeah,
A wild dude. You haven't really heard a lot of shit about him.
yeah, yeah. I think, and that's the thing about it. I give you a quick story. Give y'all a quick story. Friend of mine, Charles Smith, NBA career, my teammate. You know what I mean? Played with him for 2 years. Charles got married. He invited his me and the crew to to his wedding in Philadelphia. I forgot her name. Lisa. She was a BET uh, personality. Beautiful woman, right? Martin Lawrence was his best man. Martin Lawrence um, introduced Charles to her. Charles made him the best man. So one night we in Pittsburgh. He just so happened to be in town, and we go to the after hours joint. Right? Martin Lawrence was with us, and this was before I seen his stand up, right? But this is before he got his show when they got when they got married, right? Martin Lawrence was probably the most laid back, quiet dude. You know how from his show and his stand up, hyper wild and all these different things. That's what I'm saying. The people that you meet, you realize, well, you know what? Entertainers are just like anybody else, man.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And they have off hours, yeah.
They have their offer. You know what I mean? But, you know, we wasn't like this. Hey, Martin, entertain.
Yeah. Say something funny, nigga.
Something funny.
Yeah, like
Say something funny, you little motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And he appreciated that. You know what I mean? Because we was all basketball players anyway. But, we was all hanging out together. And Charles had his bachelor party in Atlantic City. And we was all hanging out there. You know what I'm saying? And what's the kid name? from a different world, light skin, Ron. He was there, and he was dating a little girl from the Cosby Show, right? And it was a whole lot of celebrities and professional athletes at Charles's wedding. It was just funny how me and my teammates was the coolest ones there. Even though these guys was making professional money, they wanted to hang out with us. And you know what's so funny about it is Charles had a non-alcoholic reception because his wife was religious. So me and the fellas hopped in the car and went to the ABC and we came back, you know what I mean, and became entertainers there. And it was just a simple fact that understanding early that professional athletes are entertainers, singers and actors and all of that, right? They just regular people. Just regular people, man. And that's the funny thing about it is like, well, damn. You know, when I meet people, like Fluke was alluding to, where we was just sitting up, it's not hating on that man, saying he was corny. Oh, it's like, oh, he's a regular dude, and he don't know how to, you know what I'm saying? Because Charles's cousin was a soap opera star, Christian Saint Jacques.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's Charles. They look. That's Charles' first cousin. They looked so much alike, it wasn't funny.
Now you mention it, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, yeah.
And that's what I said. It's like understanding that, and it wasn't coming from a place of jealousy and all that. No, I knew I could be comfortable in my own skin because I'm seeing people. I always had the ability to see people for who they are, not what I perceive them to be. You know what I'm saying? Now, had I met in high school, that was another thing. I was being recruited by a coach that was a former NBA assistant coach. He was coach at Bradley, right? And he used to hook us up with tickets to the Pistons game when Isaiah was like in the second or third year. And the Pistons played one of the games I remember, the Pistons played against the 76ers. And guess who I got to meet? Daryl Dawkins and Dr. J. That was crazy to me. That was crazy to me because everybody always talked about, I'm 6'9", but they always talked about how big Dr. J's hands was. That was real. Swallowed my hands when I shook his hands. And he was one of the coolest, Doc always been one of the coolest cats. But that just going on a rant. But my point is, I have a question for you. Is it a flaw in our community when we give people too much credit because of their celebrity?
Well, I mean, you got to consider, what it takes for a black person to achieve celebrity, man. I mean, we fighting a lot of battles, and just for somebody to have seemingly made it,
okay,
it's a hell of an achievement. There's a lot of inner workings, in basketball alone. How much of basketball is purely political? A great deal of it. And to be able to navigate that shit, man, and go on to have a successful career, I believe it's something to be respected, man. But not to something to be respected, not necessarily revered.
Yes, I got it. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Damon Damon's internet is being very fickle today, but I'm glad he had a chance to voice some opinion about it. Watch later on, he's gonna say, "Keep that application you got. You know that's the reason why I couldn't stay on." Somebody to blame.
That cold weather done froze up the airways.
You know what I'm saying? Um, we'll wait for him before we shut this down. But the Quarry, what is something that you would like to see as you go into your old age when it comes to our community? Anybody in the comments, if you have something to share, please let us know. All right, I got a better one. If you have an answer, that's cool. But after this, do you have something on your bucket list you want to achieve as you're approaching your later years?
Yeah. Well, the first question, I mean, I would like for our community to I would like for us to meet ourselves with truth, man. You know, what I mean by that is it kind of alludes to some of the things that we talked about earlier. I mean, we're wrong, man. And there's sometimes we just got to accept that we fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
We fucked up, and I don't want to be the guy to be on the internet saying that it ain't all about being black. It ain't all black and white. But we don't we don't judge ourselves the right way, man. We don't judge ourselves the right way. And I'm not I'm not saying we need to sit on some kind of moral high horse and look down at at the wrong that everybody do. I'm not saying that at all, man. But it's just it's certain shit that black people expect to get away with. I feel,
okay.
And anything that I do, anything that I say, man, as far as the consequences go, I'm willing to stand on, man. Like the two situations, Puffy and the coach of Michigan, man, they were absolutely self-inflicted, man. Absolutely self-inflicted. Couldn't say that 20 years ago. Even if there was scandal involved in somebody's career, it wasn't put out in the forefront. And I'm not saying that we need to hide things, man. We need to make better decisions, man, as a community, man. Just knowing what we've been through and more than likely are going to continue to go through, man. Somebody's got to make it a habit to do the right thing all the time, not just because of a look, but because it's just the right fucking thing.
Yeah.
And as far as the bucket list, man, my background or whatever, man, I see that. I want to be in a movie, man. Shit, I've been looking to try to find me some Tubi auditions and shit. People shit on Tubi, man. Man, look, man, that Tubi giving people opportunities, man. Tubi is giving black people jobs.
And that's the thing about it is they taking the Netflix approach, man. Mm-hmm. Because what they're doing is they decided, and also Prime did the same thing. Mm-hmm. They put a lot of independent black movies on to bring us as an audience onto it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Tubi's done it, and you see Tubi's starting to put it in the mix again, where they're mixing the old and the new. You know what I'm saying?
And a lot of those movies, man, a lot of those black movies, I was told that they do a lot of those movies in Detroit.
Oh, they do. They do.
So yeah, I support that shit, man. Like, go on and get it.
They do.
They started doing that shit after I leave. Had I stuck around home, I'd be a goddamn star right now.
A star. Um, what I would like to see is a emphasis starting in the elementary on more vocational programs. Our children, I mean, emphasis on education, right? But also vocational, plumbing, carpentry, construction. I'm talking about going all the way up, all the way through high school and apprentice programs because there is careers and lives with those things. You feel me? They really are. It's and I've always promoted that. I mean, because when I was in high school, you remember the old Ipsy High was a vocational votech.
Like RCTC.
Yeah, all of that, you know, mechanic, everything, and a lot of people branched off in their lives and still doing and making a good living because of it. And these programs slowly, like in a lot of these urban cities, slowly started being X'd out. Now it's nepotism. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I would like to see, a well-rounded thing, where putting us into positions to learn how to make a living other than, hey, you need to go to school.
I got a
Get your
degree
degree.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Give multiple choices. My bucket list, honestly, is to one thing. I got several things on it. But one thing is to really and truly travel. You know what I'm saying? Travel. Not to Europe, you know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about, you know, islands, cruises. I've never been on a cruise before. Would love that. You know what I'm saying?
I guess black people's fucking cruises up nowadays too.
You know what, man?
That burns my ass, man. Like, I mean,
but see that not every cruise is getting jacked up though, bro.
the fact that they would even say that black people is fucking. I mean, come on, man. Come on, I done been on many cruises, man,
Yeah.
and the black people ain't never been a problem.
I know.
Never.
They emphasize, see, and you know that's the thing about it is there's always an emphasis of our fuck ups, which is very small percent. Now, see, you understand it goes a long way. It's just like condensed milk. A can of condensed milk will make fucking 4 gallons of milk. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what they do is that little small percentage of something that happened. It is, and we're part of the blame too, because what do? We post it on our pages. You know what I'm saying? We send it to our friends. Will you look at this monkey business right
Look
here?
at this, yeah. Look at these motherfuckers.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Now what we're doing is planting the seeds of foolishness because you think it's like that all the time, and it's not. It's not. You know, it's not. But yeah, that's what it is, man. You know, I think you try. Let's give Damon another 10 minutes, five minutes. See if he
Yeah,
comes back on.
that's what I say. God damn. 10
Yeah,
minutes?
man. I gotta wait for him that long.
No, I'll wait for him. Yeah, that is the
That's what I'm
worst.
saying, man. It's over. Oh, It's oh the
You know, psychologically, man. You know, I think, and I'm gonna go out on a limb when I make this statement, man. But you know that term there, black fatigue, man. I think I'm an affable person to try to defend that, man. When there's nothing to defend.
yeah,
You know, people. Everybody gets excited when when they're offended.
yeah,
Everybody gets loud when they're happy, when they're having a good time. Everybody.
yeah,
It's not just us.
yeah.
Now, what does happen is we teach the world how to celebrate.
Of course.
You know, and if we're guilty of anything, that would be the primary thing I say we were guilty of. We teach the world how to have fun, you know, and a good time, and how to relax.
I think that's the thing that the majority of it is being unfucked with.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Because when you trying to gain motion when it comes to regular life, work, and all these different things, right? They try to have a ceiling on how we do the things. I'll say they. I'm just talking about in general because they can be black or white. You know what I mean? People try to slow your motion out of jealousy or just out of necessity to keep their power. You feel what I'm saying?
yeah. Just for the simple fact that they don't think you belong there.
And,
Like
and
wow, man. Like you got a lot of balls, bro. You got a
yeah,
lot of balls.
a lot of So, and that's what I'm saying is like, you know what? Our laughter and our entertainment is so there's there's few blocks for that. There's no block to stop that.
Mm,
And when they say, "Well, damn, these folks, I know what they're going through, and they still find a reason to lie."
yeah. You look at this man. This man ain't got no insurance.
Yeah,
He owed thousands in child support. You know, probably smoked too much weed, but
hmm
he ain't gonna tell you to kiss his ass in the morning. He gonna say good morning.
because you understanding that life is life, man. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? You know, like and Malika has a point there. She said black people make struggle look lit. We don't need a lot of our happiness. We enjoy ourselves because nobody fucks with our happiness unless they got something to gain from it or they're jealous of it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm speaking in general terms. You know what I mean? Because like I said, it's black and white. You know what I mean? It's not like it's not these white folks. Yeah. There's a lot of jealous white people out there because they have not been taught how to live their lives. They live. It's a sheep herd mentality with them. And I'm speaking in general terms. Us, we want to be a part of the herd because we got some followers, right? But guess what? We get excluded from the herd. You know what I'm saying? We got to find our own patch.
the herd usually provides protection, but I mean it's not always a guarantee for us.
Yeah. So it's I mean, and that's what I'm saying to you. Like I watch podcasts, man, and I'm not like one of those studying podcasts, but some of the podcasts that I really like get into are the ones that actually are not there to entertain you, but there to communicate. Like us is what we do. We're communicating. We're talking. Our people in our comments is what we're doing. We're talking. Like I like these kids from Georgia. Grits and Egg podcast? And I learned about them on TikTok. And one of the main guy, he started on TikTok. He would, have little 30-second, 60-second bursts or just being funny and just talking real logical stuff, right? So his podcast, if you get a chance to acquire, just check it out. Grits and Eggs. And the thing about it is he mixes his anger with the truth. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I feel we speak on things. I'm not going to just be angry and just say anything. No, I'm going to be angry to get the point. I'm going to make sure I get my point across, especially when it's the truth. You know what I'm saying? It's a couple other podcasts, man, and I'm gonna start. I don't know their names, but I'm gonna start writing them down, man. I'm gonna start recommending these joints because, like I said, it's about a conversation. The Joe Biden, the Joe Button podcast, right? Really started watching it for the comedy because what's my man name? Mark Lamont Hill. I like the fact that he's very informative, but he's an asshole, and he shows it. I love that. I love that. I like watching him.
Unapologetically.
I like Joe. Like the other guys is cool, right? I like Joe. Joe is a prima donna, right? Weird prima donna, but he speaks truth though. He's authentically true for what he believes. And then when they added Desmond Manogue, I'm not even gonna butcher the name, but Don't Call Me White Girl, right? She is straight North Philly and authentically going off of her upbringing.
So they replaced Melissa Ford with her. Okay.
They did. She left.
The
She has
dude.
her own podcast now, but she left. But yeah, but see, Don't Call Me White Girl is a stand-up comedian. So
I've seen that before.
Yeah. So her authenticness has a lot to do with comedy too. You know what I mean?
But now that you mention her, man, I mean, I see her. I see her and dude Queen's Flip. I see them bumping heads a lot. People give him a bad rap, man. You know, I like that dude, man. You know, because he makes a lot of sense when he ain't fucking around.
Yeah, he play. What he does is, and I think that whole episode with him and Lamont Hill, when the Lamont Hill's intellectuals called him ignorant and all this shit, it hurt him because he's there for the color commentary. That's what his role is there. You know what I'm saying? On that podcast.
And truthfully, it's a respect thing, man. He was there before dude was. So you got your fans understand that, man. But you could control these motherfuckers, man. You don't this. You at home. This is my house too.
And I love their response to that podcast being attacked, because even though they be in there on that sophomore, because all his boys, right? The ones, the old crew, it took them a while. They got there. Malika's right. It did grow because it took them a while because they. You know what I'm saying? They were trying to get comfortable in the space, right? But adding Lamont Hill there, he kind of balanced this shit out. You know what I'm saying?
I wonder whose idea his acquisition was.
I think it was Joe Budden. I think it was because they brought him on as a guest. Once or twice, and they like how he evened it up. And like I said, he has asshole humor. See, you got to pay attention to what he says. He's funny as shit.
He is. Yeah.
He's funny as hell. But see, when I was watching him on CNN and CNBC and Fox and all that, same humor, funny as shit. You know what I mean? So he brought it to the podcast, and he's comfortable with it. Like I said, Joe, not to belabor this, but Joe has grown, and I like him but he's a prima donna. He's moody. You feel what I'm saying? But he's very good. He's very funny.
Yeah, it's Joe's a result of a motherfucker working hard and being able to massage shit
Yeah.
into the fashion that he wanted. It's his shit.
Because you got to think about it. He's a pioneer in podcasting. I remember when Joe was doing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there was other people podcasting, but for the black space podcasting, he's the pioneer of it. You know what I'm saying? You know, going off and on, you know, changing his cast, all these different things like that. But the point is, it's an authentic show now that you can sit there and you can watch it. Before, I could take it here and there. You feel what I'm saying? But now, with the two new additions, right, and the other cats not feeling threatened, you know what I'm saying? Like the light-skinned boy, Ish. I know why him and Joe are friends because he's a moody guy too, but very smart guy, right?
That motherfucker did time, Jack.
Yeah. So
Time.
my thing is, they're businessmen too. You know what I'm saying? They are businessmen. That's another thing I like about it. You know what I'm saying? So the guy Parks, music guy. You know what I'm saying? He fucked around by accident, got the right mix up in that bitch. You know what I'm saying?
That dude. Apparently, he used to be he used to be a real asshole on the podcast.
Yeah, Joe Budden. Oh hell yeah.
I mean Parks.
Oh, Parks. Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know.
They talk about something. Sometimes they talk about how hard he used to go.
I didn't even know that.
Well,
See, that's funny.
So apparently he's mellowed.
But you know, that's the thing. Like that, them grits and eggs, man. Please check that out. Because, like I said, my man go hard, but see, it's a truthful hard though. You know what I'm saying? Well, you know, you look at him like it sounds like he's giving you his opinion, but he's giving you the truth with it. And there's some other ones, man. Like I said, I'm gonna make sure I bring, you know, recommend a couple other them joints, man. You know what I mean? Because to me, I think with us, you know, because we got families and we old heads and we got jobs, we don't go as hard as we could, but we do a thorough fucking job in communicating, and that's our goal.
Yeah,
you know
I make no qualms about the protection of my public face.
Of course.
I have a name here.
Of course. You know what I mean? You just silly dude. But look, I guess Damon has not came back, but I want to thank Bobby Martin again, our guest from last week. Guys, if you don't go to our YouTube channel and please check last week's podcast episode, because Bobby Martin, who lives in the Boston area, he's about training. If you have basketball prodigies and stuff like that, that's what he does. And he has a lot of information, so go check that out. But any last words, Jaquari, before we go?
Yeah, I've thoroughly enjoyed the conversation, brother, and I look forward to the next.
I also enjoyed the conversation. I enjoyed Damon's interaction. You know what I mean? It's just like Michael Jordan flu game. You know, either you're gonna come with the 30 points or you got to sit out for a while. So, but his interaction today was some good interaction. You know what I mean? Malika says, "Go Lions." I'm still riding with my boys, man. You know, this is gonna be a big test, man. The Rams gonna be a big test for us. You know what I'm saying? But you know, if we win out, we got a slight chance, bro. We got a slight chance. You know. Well, look, we're here every Friday at 7:30. Please come and check us out. Let your friends know. You know, if you have any topics, guys, especially, hit me up in Messenger on Facebook what you want us to talk about, and then we'll go from there. And this is Strong Perspective Podcast. We'll see you next week.